Good evening, family and friends. I just want to stop by and talk a little bit about friends. Do you know your friend, or they just out to get something from you, use you? When I was coming up, I used to didn't know the value of friendship too much because I was just out to just to get me, do what I needed to do to get by. But as you get older, my years, I have a few friends, but I call them my friends. But all your friends come by when you drinking and when you doing what they doing, or you're in the streets or whatever they doing, with going out to a club, whatever they doing. But they always said the birds of a feather flock together. So, I didn't hang with nobody, didn't do what I do. But my friendship was very loyal. Even when I was young, I had a good friend of mine. Let's just talk about it. I had a good friend of mine. His name was Claude Bates. He was a Caucasian guy. His mama loved me to death. We went everybody. We went everywhere. And had fun and rode bicycles and stuff. But we got to be teenagers and stuff. Everything just started going downhill. But as I got older, I accumulated another friend, and we used to hang out together and do things together. But I trusted him. At the same, I called him my friend. He was my good friend. We used to call him Willie Cool. He looked like Michael Jackson, so we used to call him Willie Cool. So back in the early 80s, he was cool. He was cool. We go to the dances and stuff together and hang out. Was he my friend? I thought he was. So I wind up, I was married. So I got married. I was 19 years old. I was young. I didn't know what I was doing. So I married, and, he needed a place to stay. We talking about friendship. We talking about true friends. He needed a place to stay. But me being the sound-minded person that I am, and my loyalty as a friend, I figure, okay, why not? So I gave it a chance. A few months passed by. He was giving me some money on the bills and stuff, but I would leave the house randomly, going to work, doing some things, running errands and stuff like that. Never home all the time. Guess what? My wife, then, she left with him. They was seeing each other. They was sleeping in my bed, but he was supposed to be my friend. A friend ain't gonna stab you in the back like that. A friend gonna, if he sees something going on, a friend gonna tell you. He's not gonna do you any kind of way. Not a friend. But a so-called friend, he'll dog you out. One that don't want nothing, one that don't want to see you have nothing, he'll dog you out. But I wasn't suspecting that. When I got off work, she used to argue at me all the time about nothing. You can tell when something wrong with somebody you love, because they don't act right. They're always arguing at me all the time about anything. She'll come up with anything, say something wrong to me, anything. But me, I never been the type of person to argue about nothing. I just accepted it and go on. I squash stuff. I don't sit back and bigger and argue about stuff. But this one particular day, I got off early. But she was gone. Come to find out, a lot of people in the street seen her with him. And every time I tried to call him, I never could get in contact with him, because he was sleeping with my wife. And I didn't understand that. But me, I was 19 years old. Matter of fact, 20. I trusted him. I didn't know too much about marriage or nothing like that. I'm young, but I'm still in the streets. But I got a friend on my side. You know, we went to the clubs together. We drunk a little beer or something like that together. We hung out, you know. We watched each other fight. We was good friends. But let me tell you something. That was the biggest mistake I ever made. Accepting a person as a friend. See, these days you got to be careful when you call a person your friend. Respect is not always given. You got to earn respect. If I give you respect, I expect it to come back to me in the same way I give it to you. But if you my friend, if something going on with my wife, you don't go sleep with her. We should be able to talk about it. We should talk about it. You should tell me if she come on to you. If you're a friend, you'll tell me if she came on to you or not. If you're a friend. But me, being young and dumbfounded, I never really paid it no attention. I just let it go in one ear and come out the other. I just let the thoughts, I just keep it rolling. I let my emotions get in the way. So, what I did, when I found out that she was sleeping with him, I let my emotions get the best of me. You know, young and don't care, don't have no structure, don't have no sense of direction, nothing. That it hurt me because that was my friend. I didn't think my friend would do me any kind of way. All the time he was up in my nose. All the time he was hanging around me, envy and jealous, just to get what I wanted, just to get the stuff that I had. I didn't know it was like that. I thought we could have talked about anything. A friend. That was my best friend. Oh, tears came to my eyes. And it hurt me, emotionally hurt me so bad that I went to his house. And I was going, what was happening? I was going to do something crazy, wind up in prison the rest of my life. Now this in the middle 80s. And by 85, 86, I would have wound up doing something stupid and being in prison the rest of my life. But I wasn't thinking then. This my friend, he betrayed me. So I'm going to do what I got to do. You ain't going to disrespect me. And I'm letting you stay in my house, sleep up under my roof, sit at my table, eat my food, and you go after my wife and sleep with her. You disrespect me and our friendship. Where's the loyalty at? So I tried to confront him. But you know something, to that day to this one, when I went to his house, I was going to do something I ain't had no business doing to him if he'd answer that door. What saved him was his mother answered the door. And I said, "Will he in?" She said, "No." She was so respectful. She said, "No, James, he's not in." You know what she asked me? She said, "James, please don't hurt my son. I know he was wrong for what he did to you. Don't hurt my son." I said, "Where he at?" I'm standing at the door crying, talking to her. "Where he at? He supposed to be my friend. He don't do friends like that. Where he at?" All emotional, blah, 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 said so many words. Well, anyway, make a long story short. From 1986, 85, 86, up until now, 2026, I never seen him. I never seen him. Because if I'd have seen him then, I wouldn't be talking to y'all now on YouTube. Because it hurt. I'm 19 years old. I'm just 19, 20 years old. That's my friend. But now, I'm glad that didn't happen. Because I had a chance to look at life different. I had some more people, I accepted as friends, but I socialized. When I kept coming up, but I never put myself back in that predicament no more. See, the only way a person can hurt you or know anything about you, they got to get close to you. And the only way a person can ride your back and balance themselves out on your back, you got to bend it in order for them to get up there. I allowed people to come in my life and destroyed my life, almost destroyed my freedom. Bad choices. But let me tell you something. I got older and wiser. I moved out of that state. A little older, years went by, and I got myself together. I be careful who I call my friend now. I call you my associate. You're not my friend, you're my associate. I have one friend. Well, let me back up a little bit. Tell you this. When I was out there drinking, going to the clubs and doing the things that I was doing, I had so many friends. Every Friday, my yard would be full of people. We'll barbecue, play spade, play dominoes, and drink. The same routine. Even the broke people was my friend. Because I was pretty nice when I was drinking. But stupid. Never selfish. But stupid and young. Entertaining. I was like the entertainer. People, let's go to James' apartment. Let's go to James' apartment. Let's go to James' place. Barbecue. I would call them up. Invite them. Y'all come on, man. Let's barbecue. Let's do this. Let's do that. But when I stopped drinking, I haven't been drinking now in over 3 years. Since my good friend died, June 2023. Almost 3 years I've been stopped drinking because I chose to. And then I never accepted friends. Everybody is my associate. I'm not looking for no friends. I have one friend that I can truly say. A friend will be there no matter what. When you down and out, you sick and on your last, your friend gonna be there to encourage you. Not to stomp and kick you and keep you down. That's not a friend. That's somebody who's envious and jealous of you and don't want you to have. Waited on you to fall before you can crawl back to them and say, I knew you were going to do this. You need something? Well, they can go talk about it. My friend that I have now, I can tell my friend something. You never go tell nobody nothing. But most people, when you tell about your personal life, they go tell everybody. They'll add some more stuff to it. Make you look bad. But that's their life. Make your life look like it's what even worth living. But that's your life. But me, now, my friend is my first cousin. She been with me through thick and thin. When I didn't have nothing, she stuck by me. She always called me. We call each other once a week right now. Once a week. See how each other doing. If we lose location, we'll do everything we can to get back in contact with each other. That's a friend. We've been friends. We first cousins, but we've been friends, straight friends, over 20 years. We never failed each other. Never lied to each other. Always helped. Never talked about each other. Never shared each other conversation with nobody else but each other. If we talked about something, it was private. And it stayed there. From that day to this day, it's still like that. If you find a friend like that, you don't need no more. Your worst enemy will be yourself. But your best friend is you. Confide in you. Get to know you. Look at that man in the mirror or that woman in the mirror and realize you don't need nobody. Your dignity and all you got, your dignity and self-respect is all you have for yourself. Don't let nobody take that away from you. Be who you are. You live your best life. Then the Heavenly Father will send you a true friend that you can really rely on, and a friend that will pick you up no matter what. When you're sick, down and out, don't worry about it, bro. I got you. When you need something, I got you, bro. And don't ask for it back. Don't have to pay it back. I got you, bro. Just hang in there. Do the right thing. Get yourself together. But your enemy will take you down every time. So I say that to you all. Be wise in your selections of friends. Be careful who you call friend. If they're not there for you, just remember, they're against you. And they want you to have no more than them. A friend don't want you to. A friend don't care how much you have or how less you have. They're going to respect you for who you are. Not for what you are or what you can give them, but who you are. Let that be food for thought for the day. Recognize your friends. Stay true to yourself. And be blessed. Socialize. Don't be quick to be a friend to somebody. Just socialize. And you won't have to put yourself in no predicament to defend yourself. All right, I'll talk to y'all later. Y'all have a blessed night or blessed day, wherever you're at in this world. But be peaceful. And stop. Think about who your friend is. Y'all have a good one now. We'll talk the next time. Peace.